we are going to create what we call a database here. So what you are going to do here, I want you to come over here on the console and you hover over AWS here and right click. As you can see, you open link in a new tab. That's what you're going to click. So you open a new tab here. So here is VPC. Here I'm going to put my RDS. So you type on the search box RDS. You see here, it comes here, relational database service. That's what AWS is providing. So you click on that. So after you click on that, it's going to open something like this. This is a dashboard of your RDS. You have a database here. If you have any database, it will appear here. You will see that over database, I don't have anything, or I clear up my database system. This is one of the tools that you also need to clear up because they will charge you for that. The price will be most consistent. So here, before creating my database, I want to create a subnet group first. So I want to create a DB subnet group. How do you do that? You will come here and go scroll all the way down to where it says subnet group and hit that. I have a default subnet group here, no problem. I want to create mine, so I will copy the name of my subnet here. Copy that. I come over here and hit create DB subnet group. So create DB subnet group, the name of my subnet, I will paste that here. Over here on description, as you can see, I gave you a proposal of a description. You can use that or give your own description. So you gave a description here. The VPC, as you know, should be your current VPC. And once you scroll down here on add subnet, you have availability zones. So what you are looking for here is availability zone on US East 1A and US East 1B. Those are the two zones that I'm working with. You select your own zone that you're working with based on what you have. So these are the two availability zones that I am working with. I'll go over here on subnet. So since it's these two availability zone, I need to select those two subnet. So you have to keep in mind that here the subnet is going to be all the data subnet. On 1B, the data subnet is the one that say 10.0.5.0/24. On 1A, the subnet is the one that say 10.0.4/24 because this is the data one. So all I'm selecting here is our data subnet. Once you do that, you click on the side so you can get out of it and you make sure you see exactly your subnet. Mostly you look at your CIDR block to know that is the right subnet that you have selected. So once that is done, you will see here, this is the summary of what you got. So you can hit create. So now I have created a car rental database subnet. I can now go ahead and create my database based on this subnet. So to create that database, you come here and you hit databases. You see that I don't have any database yet, but to create one, I will just hit create. It will come over here, and here uh, you have the option of standard and easy create. You stay on standard. We are looking at the MySQL database. So you have to select MySQL here. Okay, once I select MySQL, let me just scroll down, and over here on the version, you see here where it says version ending, you have to select one of the latest version. You are not selecting the 8 point something here. So you hit this drop down arrow. You have to select the latest version that you have on the 5.7 SQL. My latest version here is 5.7.41. So I'm going to select that and scroll down. On the template, you have production, dev test, and you have free tier. You go on dev test, just like the instruction is saying here. Done. The next step will be DB instance identifier. So you go here. Now you have the option to do either multiple zone if you want your database to be duplicated. For this project, I will go for a single. I don't really want, because you will see the price even. I don't want to get charged that much because it's just a demonstration. So I will not create two database on my two private data subnet. I will just create one. But if you wanted to create the both database on each of the subnet, you click on this. So you take you a multi AZDB instance. So now stay with a single one here and go here where you say DB instance identifier, which is this one here. You have to give a name here, or you can leave it default, but I choose to identify my name. That way I know exactly what I'm working with. So I will put that here. I will put car rental RDSDB. Then now here you have to give your name. Your name, as you can see here, I say give your name right there. So I'm going to give my name. So for me, quite simple, I choose Louis. So next thing that is going to happen is you have to put your password here. Guys, remember this password, because if you don't remember it, you screw. So put a simple password, but strong password that you will remember. So I will put my password here, and so my password is done. I'm going to put my password again here. It's going to be the same thing. Okay, so this is just to confirm the password. Then you scroll down. Now you have to select bus table classes. So we have all these instances here. You want to select this one here, the third one. Bus table classes is defaulting you to the DBT3 micro here, but once you toggle this include, you will see that it will give you a a DBT2 micro, which the one you want. You definitely don't want anything so large. You remember, you are just doing your practice. You don't want to be paying huge amount of money just because you're doing this. So I'll leave it on a DBT2 micro and just continue scrolling down here. So here we're going to car rental VPC. So I'll copy that and just scroll down all the way to where I'll have to input that. So I will leave everything here as default. Here is where we choose our VPC. So it's going to be car rental VPC. That's what I'm looking for right here. Car rental VPC. So we did that. Then we go down on the DB subnet group. You can see that it already populated for me. This is the one that we created. So we are here right now. We're going to the next step, which will be the security group. So we scroll down. You say choose an existing security group. Yes, we leave that as default there. You have to remove this default here first. Then you select your existing security group. This security group is car rental database security group. That's the reason why we created it. Car rental database security group. Once you click that, you come out of it and you make sure that that's what you have here. Then the availability zone for this DB, since I'm just creating one, you select which of the zone you want it. You see that it defaults you to the two zone that you have. So is either availability zone on 1A or 1B. So I'm going to select the one on 1B. So it really don't matter. This is just an indication of where you want your single database to get created on which zone. But if you are creating two database, you're gonna put one on each zone, and that way you're good. So since I'm getting just one, I choose to put it on the B. So we're scrolling down here and additional configuration. Guys, pay attention for additional configuration because this is the key. Everything that you done here will not work if you don't do this single step on additional configuration. So uh, no, this is not the additional configuration I'm looking for. So scroll down again. This is the additional configuration that we are looking for. And look at the price, guys. And you can see that we're already talking about good money here. The monthly cost of this is a way huge than a regular instance. So, and we're just doing one. Imagine that we are doing like two, and we also have instances running. That's why I just choose to create one because it's demonstration purpose. So this is additional configuration that I was talking about. You click that for the drop down. The reason why we are coming here is because we have to give the name for the instance. So I will call this instance car rental DB. So I'll copy that, and you will have to keep this name in mind because it will help you for your configuration once we get there. So other than that, everything is good. We go all the way down and we hit create our DB. Now, the creation of this DB, I really don't need trying to sell me a couple of stuff here. I don't need any of this. So I'll X out that. The creation of this DB will take some time because you will need it. You see where it say creating here, you will need this status to change to active. It usually take about 5 to 15 minutes to get created. So for that purpose, we can go and get started on our Elastic file system creation. You remember that we did create a security group for Elastic file system, and I was telling you that AWS is providing you with an Elastic file system that we're going to make use of right now for us to be able to do complete this our application smoothly. So I want you to hover here over AWS, right click on it and open in a new link. And this new link here, you dedicate this link for EFS. So I'm going to type here on the search box EFS. So it's going to open EFS for me. Now that the EFS is open, what are we going to do? The first thing we are doing here is create a file system on our AWS console, and this file system is called car rental EFS. Again, it's just a choice. You can give it any name you want. So here, indication says when you go on EFS, the next thing you have to do is click on create file system. So you click here, create file system. You open this box. Don't do anything on this box, just click on customize here so you get out of that box. So it gets you to this specific page. Now you start inputting every single information. The first information that we are giving here is the name. So, and it's optional. If you don't want to, you don't give a name, it's your choice. So we give the name here, we leave it on the standard zone. We don't have no problem with that. But for the encrypted backup here, we don't need that. That's why we say uncheck. So we're going to check encrypted. This is where we're checking it, enable encryption of data at rest. We don't need this one, so we're going to uncheck that. The next thing you're going forward to do is you're going to add a tag here. So you go all the way down, you leave everything default all the way to where they say tag. So you hit tag here. From the indication here, you are adding a tag name. So then here is going to be, my tag will be a name. So what's the value of that tag? I will still call it car car rental EFS. So you have the same tag here. Then next, so I will click next. So now I am on here. This is the next step. On this next step, the first thing I'm going to do is choose the VPC. As you can see here, my VPC will be car rental, and make sure it's car rental effectively. Now pay attention here. Usually what I do is this default one here, I know they will not work for me. So I will clear them out so my screen look good. I start by the first availability zone, US is 1A. So on US East 1A, what do I need? I need the car rental private data subnet 1 AZ1. So here I will hit this drop down and look for the car rental private data app subnet AZ1. This first one here, if you look closely, you will see it. So it says car rental private data app subnet AZ1. So that's the default one that I'm looking for, and that's good for me. Let me just enlarge it a little bit so you can see. No, it doesn't give you much information, so we can still leave it there. So then you're going to skip automating IP address. You have to come here on security group. On security group, what you are working with is going to be car rental EFS. So you hit this drop down here and you're looking for the EFS security group. So this is the application load balancer. You don't need that. This is the SSH. You don't need that. You scroll down again. This is the default. You don't need that. This is the EFS, and this is the one you need. So you select that. You come out of it. Now you know you have the EFS. You can read it through here. You will do the same thing with the US East 1B. On the US East 1B, the subnet here have to be car rental private data subnet AZ2. So you click on the side to get out of it. Here you need to select the same security group, which is the EFS security group. So you start reading through, looking for your EFS security group. This is my EFS security group here. Once I add that, I can click on the side. Now every configuration here is done according to these two lines here. You can hit next. So I will hit next. Here you don't have to add any policy, don't do anything here. So all you got to do is hit next again. Now it will give you a summary of everything on your EFS, and then you hit create. So here it is, like you say, creating, and it took us a couple of seconds and it's created already. So by this time, let's go and check again on the master here. You see that it's still saying, it's say backing up. Even if I refresh here, it's definitely not going to change anything, because again, I told you it's going to take like 5 to 15 minutes to get created. It's a little bit heavy. So here on my EFS, important information for this EFS is that uh, 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 we need a specific information to mount our file system. So how do we mount our file system? So you can go and let me just hit here view file system. Once I hit view file system, it default me to my car rental EFS here. Let me just hit attach and we see what will come up. you can see here that everything that are provided to you here is basically the information that is coming from here. So basically, to mount, we will need this uh, we will need this EFS information that you see in here to do the mount. The most important information that you need to copy from here to paste on your folder or on your file will be this EFS information. Pay attention closely. This part that I'm copying right here, FS, all the way to the com here. I'm going to copy that. This is the only thing we need, and this is the only thing that you have to update on your notepad that I provided to you. So once I copy that, I will come over here on my notepad and I will just paste it here. So as you see, the look-alike is the same thing. It just changes anytime you create a new EFS for your environment. It all depends. So I'm going to paste that there. So this is the only thing that we will need when we're doing our mounting on the formula tomorrow, going down the road. So remember this and remember where we come and get it. So I'll put it here again. So I will exit out of that. So anytime we will need this EFS, we can come and copy it. And again, it's even here and paste it right there. So now we can go on and launch a setup server and install WordPress. To launch a setup server, I want you to hover over AWS here and hit open link in a new tab, and this tab we are going to dedicate it to EC2. So here on the search box you hit EC2. So EC2, this is where we are just going to create our instances and anything like that. The first thing we are creating here is uh, is a setup server, a server that we use to set up our system, to prepare the environment. So this server, we call it car rental setup server. So copy that, come here, hit the running instance. I don't have no running instance, so I'm going to launch a new one here and just follow the steps. So give the name that I have already is Amazon Linux server. So I need to go and grab my Amazon Linux 2. Okay, wait for that to upload. I'm leaving the architecture as default T2 micro, no problem. Now on the key pair, I want you to go in and grab the key pair for your Puri. Today we are not doing Mobax, guys, and you will see there's a specific reason for that. That's why Puri is powerful. So you use the key pair Puri that you created here. So my Puri key, and now you have to edit the network. So this is where, because I know that this part maybe you didn't understand what to do, so I did put the notification here. So on not network setting, I want you to edit the network here, and obviously you need to select the VPC that we're working on, car rental. Secondly, you need to select the subnet where you're going to put uh, this server. We want to put it on the public subnet AZ1. It doesn't matter, it could be AZ1 or AZ2, but you have to be a public subnet because we're going to access it. So car rental public subnet AZ1, that's where I choose to put it. Now on, it's going to auto assign IP address. We don't have no problem. We don't want to create a security group here. So we have to select existing security group, and we have to assign him the 3 security group that enable all the access. The first one is going to be the SSA security group. I'll click on that. Okay, I do have the car rental SSA security group. The second one is going to be the application load balancer security group. I'm going to click on that. And the last one is going to be the web server security group. Then I can click on the site here. And if I hit this plus button, I just want to see all my security group that I gave to it. So SSH, application load balancer, web server. I believe everything is good at this point. So I can now go all the way down and hit launch and just wait for it to launch. So at this point, view and wait for him to go on pass all the security check and be running. So at this point, I just want to cycle back here. As you can see, yay, we are good with our database. So our database is up and running. The name of our database here is that. Then we have is a community version and uh, is available. So everything is good on this end. So now let's just check on our EC2. EC2 is running already. He hasn't passed all the security check, but we can use that because we are running a little bit out of time here. So I'll copy this IP address here. I will come here and look for Puri. So I'm looking for Puri right now. Okay, so this is Puri. On Puri, I will have to input here for SSH is going to be EC2 hyphen user at, then paste my IP address. So the port is 22, but how do I connect? Is I will come here on connection, hit the plus sign on SSH here, and click on auto here. From auto, I need to browse to get my key. So I will browse and it get me directly where my Puri key is. I will select the Puri key, hit open here, then hit open. And since it's the first time I'm SSHing into this server, I need to accept that. As you can see, I'm in. So now that I'm in, on the third step, it says install WordPress. Use the file install WordPress notepad. So our file install WordPress notepad is somewhere around here, and I've provided a file to you. This is the file that you will need. Again, on this file, there are a couple of information that we need because we are mounting our NFS server here. So we definitely need to update this part, and I'll show you how to access it today. So please, we go back here on our web browser, we go on EFS. So you hit attach here and you exactly grab this part again, this part that I did highlighted here, and you will come and replace it here. It has to be the exact same thing. Okay, so I'll paste that. Okay, now that we're good, I can now go back on my Puri and start doing my commands. So the very first one that I will type here will be one is create the HTML directory and mount the EFS to it. So I'm going to copy all this command here. All this command will do exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to copy all that. So first, I will sudo as a root, then do the yum update to update the package manager, then create the HTML directory, and then mount the file system to that directory. So I will come here and paste that in, and just let him do what he knows best. So here I'll hit enter because it looks like it stopped here. So wait, it's done. The next thing I would like to do is verify that my job was done. So DF, for those that are Linux, will know that this is the way to check about the volume within your environment. So all I'm looking for here, I am looking for this last, you see here, FS, this is my EFS that was mounted. You see, it even gave me the directory, which is var www.html. So I know that my mount system was done properly. So everything is mounted. So here, what is exactly happening is that the EFS that I created on within AWS, I am mounting it to my setup server. So from here, you have to install Apache. To install Apache, these are the set of commands. So you just copy those commands here, and you come here on your Puri and you paste those commands. They're going to do the job for you. Uh, so the last command, you will always have to run the last command by yourself. So here, when you stop there, you hit enter. So at this point, you're done with the Apache. You can move to the next step. So let me just clear my screen here by hitting Control L. Now, the next thing is install PHP. And the version of PHP that I'm installing is 7.4. So I'm going to copy all this command to install PHP. So copy that and come over here and paste everything. So, and let it run. It's going to run all the way to the last command. So it's installing PHP for me. So basically this file have everything that you need on those commands. You see that's the last command here. All I need to do is hit enter for it to get done with the last command. You are not, every single indication is given to you right here. So on those commands, you are not going to be searching for them or thinking so much about them. The commands are right there for you. You have the description of what everyone is doing at the beginning, and you copy all the command. The next thing we have to do here is install MySQL. MySQL will be 5.7 version, is going to be the latest version. So I'm going to copy all this command, copy that, and come here on my Puri and install it. So it's going to do the installation process all the way through. So it's MySQL, so it's a little bit different from all the other one because it's more heavier. So let's just give it a couple of seconds for it to do its job, and boom, everything, the last command as usual, I will just hit enter here, and so that it could start MySQL. So sudo start MySQL. I can clear my screen here. And now I need to set up the permissions. So I'm on step 5. I'll just copy this right quick. So copy and come here and paste. So hit enter, and that's done. The next thing I have to do here is step 6. I need to download WordPress. So this is going to download WordPress using wget. Then after downloading WordPress, you need to unzip that, and you need to set WordPress to this HTML directory. So we copy that and just apply it here. It's going to do the entire job for us. The last command will be copying, moving WordPress to that directory. So I hit enter, and it's going to do that for us. Let's wait until it's done. It take a couple of seconds. Then we are going to step 7, which is create the config, the wconfig.php file. For those who usually work on WordPress, if you did, you will know what is called the wconfig.php. That's where all the configuration of WordPress are done. But few people don't do that because mainly uh, they are working with the GUI. So they just like to click and drag and something like that. They don't want to go within the file itself. So let's create that wconfig here. It's just one command. Hit enter. That's done. I can clear my screen. We are on step 8, which is edit edit the wconfig here. So we are going to use the nano. So you copy this, uh, come over here and paste. So we're going to wconfig and we're going to edit that. So once I hit enter here, as you can see, I'm within the wconfig. Now pay attention closely because we need all this information, and this information is coming from our database itself. That way, I need to post it right here. And the first thing we have to do is scroll down. I'm going to scroll down all the way to here. You see where it says define DB. So we need the database name. Here, I will remove all this and input my database name. So that's the reason why I dedicated every single tab here. I will come here. This is my database. Okay. If I click database here, it's getting me to this specific page. I want to go on configuration tab. Under configuration tab, I could get couple of answer. The first answer I'm looking for is my database name. So what is my database name? I'm under configuration. So DB instance is T2 micro. I'm looking for the master is Louis. This is database names, guy. This is your database name. And again, since you are the one that created it, you can just remember the name. But if you do any misconfiguration here, trust me, you are not going to connect to this database. The next thing you're going for is the database user name here. So I'm going to clear this. And now for the username, you are looking for the master username. Here, my master username is Louis. So I'm going to copy that. I'll come here and paste it. So this is the reason why we're using Nano. You see that it's easy. You just come in and paste. You click and paste. So next is going to be the password. Now you have to remember the exact password that you input in. So I'm going to input mine here. The next thing you're going to do is on localhost here. So on localhost, you will clear this. And I'm telling you here that for localhost, instead of going under configuration, you have to go under connectivity and security. So what you do here means that you scroll up, you see connectivity and security here, you click on that. And now you scroll. This is what you're looking at, this endpoint here. So this is where what you will copy. So you copy this, and now you will come here on where you had localhost today, and you will just paste that. So now that you're done here, the next thing you will have to do is hit Control X, then you hit Y, then you hit enter. So these are the command here, Control X, Y, enter, it means that you have saved. So now I'm out of it. I need to restart the web server. The command to restart my Apache is here. I'll copy that. So at this point, I can move it right here on the side so it doesn't go away from me. So paste that there.